In this module and in the next module, we will characterize solvable groups. Solvable groups are the generalizations of nilpotent groups. Historically, solvable groups arose in the context of Galois theory. The fact that S5 is not solvable plays a crucial role to show that there are quintics which are not solvable by radicals. Presently, solvable groups has been an independent topic of study in its own right. Though the context is Galois theory to be included in mathematics, still here we study the solvable groups in a purely group theoretic approach. Now, let us give the definition of solvable groups. Let G be a group, then a chain G equal to H0 contains H1, contains H2 and so on, contains Hn equal to the identity group of subgroups is called a solvable series for G if Hi plus 1 is normal in Hi and the quotient group Hi by Hi plus 1 is commutative for every I equal to 0, 1 up to n minus 1. We define a group G to be solvable if G has a solvable series. Now we show that every abelian group is solvable. For if G is an abelian group, then G equal to H0 contains H1 equal to the identity subgroup is a solvable series for the group G. Thus, it follows that every abelian group is solvable. Hence, every group of prime order is solvable. Since if G is a group of order say a prime P, then we know that G is cyclic and isomorphic to Zp. Since every cyclic group is abelian, so every group G of order A prime P is a solvable group. There are many non-abelian groups which are solvable. For example, consider S3. S3 has only one normal subgroup containing the identity permutation and the 3 cycles 1, 2, 3 and 1, 3, 2. Then S3 has a solvable series S3 equal to H0 contains the normal subgroup E123 which contains the identity group E, and hence S3 is a solvable group. Also recall that S3 is not nilpotent. Thus, S3 is an example of a solvable group which is neither abelian nor nilpotent. Also, S4 is a solvable group. For we have a solvable series for S4 as S4 equal to H0 contains the normal subgroup containing E and the product of the permutations 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4 and 1, 4, 2, 3 which contains a normal subgroup E 1, 2, 3, 4 which contains E. Thus, S4 is a solvable group. In the next module, we prove that If n is greater than equal to 5, then Sn is not solvable. And in light of these two examples, it actually follows that the permutation group Sn is solvable if and only if n is greater than equal to 5. Now we show that solvable groups are generalization of nilpotent groups. That is, we will prove that every nilpotent group is solvable. Recall the definition of nilpotent group. A group G is called nilpotent if Zn(G) equal to G, where Zn(G) is defined inductively as the unique normal subgroup of G such that the center of the quotient group G by Zn minus 1G is equal to the quotient group Zn(G) by Zn minus 1G. Anyway, consider a nilpotent group G. Then we have some positive integer n such that Zn(G) equal to G. Then the series of normal subgroups G equal to Zn(G), which contains Zn minus 1G, and so on, which contains Z0G equal to the identity subgroup, is a solvable series. Since we have Zig by Zi minus 1G equal to the center of the quotient group G by Zi minus 1G, this quotient is an abelian group, because by definition center of every group is an abelian group, and this is true for every I equal to 1, 2 up to n. Hence, this becomes a solvable series and G becomes a solvable group. Thus, it follows that every nilpotent group is solvable. Now, we show that every finite direct product of solvable groups is solvable. Since we are considering only finitely many solvable groups in the product, so this is sufficient to prove the result for the direct product of two solvable groups. Let G and H be two solvable groups, then both G and H have solvable series of subgroups, say G equal to G0 contains G1, contains G2 and so on, which contains Gn equal to the identity subgroup, and H equal to H0 contains H1, contains so on, contains Hm equal to the identity subgroup. Now, we will construct a solvable series of subgroups of G cross H. Consider following series of subgroups of G cross H as G cross H equal to G0 cross H0 contains G1 cross H0 contains so on the identity group cross H0, which contains the identity group cross H1 and so on contains the identity group cross Hm, which contains the identity subgroup of G cross H. Please do not be confused with the same notation for the identity elements of G, H and G cross H. Since G1 is a normal subgroup of G0, so G1 cross H0 becomes a normal subgroup of G0 cross H0, and similarly G2 cross H0 is a normal subgroup of G1 cross H0 and so on. Since we have H2 is a normal subgroup of H1, So the identity group cross H1 has the normal subgroup identity group cross H2. Now we show that this is a solvable series for G cross H. For this, it remains to show that the factors of the series are abelian. Note that for the factors corresponding to the first part, the factors are Gi cross H0 by Gi plus 1 cross H0, which is isomorphic to Gi by Gi plus 1. Since Gi by Gi plus 1 is abelian, so Gi cross H0 by Gi plus 1 cross H0 is an abelian group. Similarly, the factors for the next part, that is E cross Hi by E cross Hi plus 1 being isomorphic to the abelian group Hi by H plus 1 is also abelian. Hence, the above series is a solvable series for the group G cross H, and it follows that the product G cross H is a solvable group. Now we show that every subgroup of a solvable group is solvable. Let G be a solvable group, then every subgroup of G is solvable. Consider a subgroup H of G. We will find a solvable series of subgroups of H using solvability of G. Since G is solvable, so it has a solvable series, say G equal to G0 contains G1 contains so on contains Gn equal to the identity group. Then Gi plus 1 is a normal subgroup of Gi, which implies that H intersection Gi plus 1 is a normal subgroup of H intersection Gi. Let us denote the subgroups H intersection Gi by Hi. Then we have a series of subgroups of H as H equal to H0 contains H1 contains so on contains Hn equal to the identity subgroup. Now we show that this series is a solvable series. Already we have mentioned that Hi plus 1, that is H intersection Gi plus 1 is a normal subgroup of H intersection Gi, that is of Hi. Now we show that the factors are abelian. Now Hi plus 1 is equal to H intersection Gi plus 1 is equal to H intersection Gi intersection Gi plus 1 equal to Hi intersection Gi plus 1, which implies by the second isomorphism theorem that Hi by Hi plus 1 is equal to Hi by Hi intersection Gi plus 1, which is isomorphic to Hi into Gi plus 1 by Gi plus 1. Notice that Gi plus 1 is a subset of Gi and Hi is also a subset of Gi. Thus, Hi into Gi plus 1 becomes a subgroup of the group Gi, and hence the quotient group Hi Gi plus 1 by Gi plus 1 is a subgroup of the abelian group Gi by Gi plus 1. Gi by Gi plus 1 is abelian because the series of subgroups Gi is a solvable series for G, and hence the quotient group Hi into Gi plus 1 by Gi plus 1 is abelian. Thus, the factors Hi by Hi plus 1 is abelian group. Hence, the series of subgroups H equal to H0 contains H1, contains H2 and so on is a solvable series for H, and the subgroup H becomes a solvable group. Thus, we have proved that finite direct product of solvable groups is solvable and every subgroup of a solvable group is solvable. Now we show that given any normal subgroup H of G, the quotient G by H is solvable. Let G be a solvable group, then it has a solvable series, say G equal to G0 contains G1 and so on. Since H is a normal subgroup, so GIH is a subgroup of G and H is contained in GIH for every I. Consider the series G by H equal to G0 by H, which contains G1H by H, which contains G2H by H and so on, of subgroups of G by H. You may be tempted to consider the subgroups as Gi intersection H by H, but note that H may not be a subset or a subgroup of Gi intersection H, but to make the quotient G1 intersection H by H well defined, we should ensure that H is a subgroup of Gi intersection H. That is why we have to consider the series of subgroups in this way so that H becomes a subset of GIH. Also, Gi plus 1 is normal in Gi, which implies that Gi plus 1H is a normal subgroup of GIH. Thus, the quotient group Gi plus 1H by H is a normal subgroup of GIH by H. Now, by the third isomorphism theorem, GIH by H by Gi plus 1H by H is isomorphic to GIH by Gi plus 1H. Now, let us define a mapping psi from the quotient group Gi by Gi plus 1 into GIH by Gi plus 1H. We have Gi by Gi plus 1 to be abelian. So, if we can show that psi is onto, then the commutativity of Gi by Gi plus 1 will be transferred to the quotient group GIH by Gi plus 1H via psi. So, we define psi as psi A Gi plus 1 equal to A Gi plus 1H. This is a very natural definition. Actually, here psi maps the coset of A into the coset of A. Then Gi plus 1 subset of Gi plus 1H implies that psi is well defined. Now we show that psi is onto. For this, consider an arbitrary element AH from GIH, then the quotient AH Gi plus 1H equal to A Gi plus 1H into H Gi plus 1H. Since H is a subset of Gi plus 1H, so H belongs to Gi plus 1H, and this becomes A Gi plus 1H, which is equal to, by definition, psi of A Gi plus 1. Thus, psi is onto. Also, it is easy to check that psi is a homomorphism. Since Gi by Gi plus 1 is abelian, it follows that psi Gi by Gi plus 1 is abelian, but psi Gi by Gi plus 1 is equal to GIH by Gi plus 1H. And it follows that the series G by H is equal to G0 by H contains G1H by H contains so on is a solvable series for the quotient group G by H, and hence the quotient group G by H is a solvable group. As an immediate consequence of this result, we prove that every homomorphic image of a solvable group is solvable. Let G be a solvable group and F from G into G bar be an epimorphism. Then by the first isomorphism theorem, we have G by car F is isomorphic to G bar. Since G is solvable, so the quotient group G by car F is also a solvable group, and hence it follows that G bar is a solvable group. Thus, every homomorphic image of a solvable group is solvable. Thus, we have proved that if H is a normal subgroup of a solvable group G, then both H and the quotient group G by H are solvable. Is the converse true? That is, if for a normal subgroup H of a group G, both H and the quotient group G by H are solvable, is G solvable? Now we show that this holds, and thus we get a necessary and sufficient characterization for the solvable groups. The importance of this necessary and sufficient characterization is that in most of the numerical examples, it is very difficult to use the definition of solvable groups, and in such cases, this result is very useful to check solvability of a group of some particular order. Let H be a normal subgroup of a group G, and both H and G by H are solvable. We prove that the group G is also solvable. From the correspondence theorem, it follows that every subgroup of G by H is of the form K by H, where K is a subgroup of G that contains H. Moreover, K by H is normal in G by H if and only if K is normal in G. Since G by H is a solvable group, so it has a solvable series, say G by H equal to K0 by H, contains K1 by H, and so on, the identity subgroup of G by H. The identity element of the quotient group G by H is the subgroup H, and hence here the identity subgroup is the subgroup that contains the subgroup H. Since Ki plus 1 by H is normal in Ki by H, so according to the correspondence theorem, Ki plus 1 is a normal subgroup of Ki, and also by the third isomorphism theorem, Ki by H by Ki plus 1 by H is isomorphic to Ki by Ki plus 1. Since Ki by H by Ki plus 1 by H is a factor in a solvable series, so it is abelian, and hence it follows that the quotient group Ki by Ki plus 1 is abelian. Since H is a solvable group, it also has a solvable series, say H equal to H0 contains H1, contains H2 and so on. Hence, combining the series corresponding to Ki and corresponding to Hi, we get a series of subgroups of G as G equal to K0 contains K1 contains so on, Km equal to H contains H1 and so on, contains Hn equal to the identity subgroup. This is a solvable series for G, and hence G becomes a solvable group. Now we prove two useful corollaries for the previous results. Let G be a group, H and K be two subgroups of G, and H be normal in G. If both H and K are solvable, then their product Hk is solvable. First note that H being a normal subgroup of G, the product Hk is also a subgroup of G, and so we can discuss solvability of Hk. Now by the second isomorphism theorem, we have Hk by H is isomorphic to K by H intersection K. Since K is a solvable group, then its quotient K by H intersection K is a solvable group. Note that H is a normal subgroup of G, and hence H intersection K is a normal subgroup of K. Thus, the quotient K by H intersection K is well defined. Also, H intersection K being a subgroup of the solvable group K is also solvable. Thus, both H intersection K and K by H intersection K are solvable groups. So, it follows that from the above isomorphism, both H and Hk by H are solvable. Hence, Hk is a solvable group. Now we show that if G is a group having two normal subgroups H and K such that the quotients G by H and G by K are solvable, then G is solvable if and only if H intersection K is solvable. Let G be a solvable group since H intersection K is a subgroup of G, so it is solvable. Conversely, assume that H intersection K is a solvable group. Both H and K are normal. Now, by the second isomorphism theorem, Hk by H is isomorphic to K by H intersection K. Since Hk by H is a subgroup of the solvable group G by H, so it is, and hence K by H intersection K is solvable. Thus, K by H intersection K and H intersection K are solvable, and hence K is solvable. Thus, both G by K and K are solvable, and hence G becomes a solvable group. Now, we give two particular examples of solvable groups. In our first example, we show that every group of order 14 is solvable. Let G be a group of order 14. The prime decomposition of 14 is 7 times 2. Then it follows from the Sylow theorems that G has a normal Sylow 7 subgroup H. Since order H equal to 7, which is a prime, so H is an abelian group and hence solvable. Now, order of the quotient group G by H equal to 2, which is also prime. Hence, we get both H and G by H are solvable, and it follows that G is a solvable group. Now, we consider groups of order 2002. The prime decomposition of 2002 is equal to 143 times 7 times 2. Then it follows from the Sylow theorems that G has a normal Sylow 143 subgroup, say H. Since order H is prime, so H is abelian and hence a solvable group. And the quotient group G by H being a group of order 14, it is also solvable. Thus, it follows that G is a solvable group. In this module, we have characterized solvable groups in terms of solvable series of subgroups. In our next module, we will characterize solvable groups in terms of derived subgroups, and there we will prove that the permutation group Sn is not solvable for every n greater than equal to 5.